Taelyr Jackson was on hand for the first ever Black History Day at the Capitol, coinciding with Black History Month in February. Taelyr reports on the priorities and concerns of Black lawmakers and the communities they represent.
Monday was a day to celebrate Oklahoma's Black heritage as a crowd of hundreds gathered on the second floor rotunda.
This is our inaugural event. This is a great opportunity for us to celebrate history, Black history specifically, which is American history.
Black history is obviously something we always need to revert back. We need to be able to understand and explore. I think in Oklahoma there's two things. It's one, the contributions of Black Oklahomans, which I think this is a real center of Black excellence and American progress.
African Americans arrived in Oklahoma before statehood. Many freedmen developed townships in Indian Territory. As a result, Oklahoma was home to 50 all-Black towns, and only 13 remain today.
Now, Oklahoma started out to be an all-Black state, and our first laws were full of segregation. And as I look around the Capitol today, I was thinking that how could this state continue with bigotry and segregation and wanting to go back to the way it was?
Marilyn Looper Hildreth, the daughter of Oklahoma City civil rights icons Clara Looper, brings up an issue which has concerned Black legislators and civic leaders. There's a pushback against diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, or DEI. For the current session, at least 5 bills were filed to limit DEI in education, something that Representative Monroe Nichols says is a step backwards.
I'm the first generation in my family to be born in a country where all those things were true for me, where I had those rights that nobody else in my family had. That means that there are certain things that are unequal for us. And that means that we have to be very intentional about what we do about it. And so intentionality means we have to pass policy and work on issues that are going to help close that gap.
These concerns come after both Governor Kevin Stitt and State Superintendent of Public Instruction Ryan Walters spoke out against DEI.
I want our universities to have less DEI officers and more career placement counselors.
We are very concerned here in the state of Oklahoma about diversity, equity, inclusion programs. Programs that tell folks that because of the color of their skin, they should be ashamed or they are superior or inferior to other races.
Walters, who is a member of the OETA board by virtue of his position as superintendent, informed the Oklahoma Regents of Higher Education that his department would review up to 10 years of spending history, including current materials used for diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. ACLU of Oklahoma Executive Director Tamaya Cox-Torre hopes that Monday's celebration of Black history will help enlighten lawmakers.
I think they need to take a step back and think about the language they're using and the impact that it's having on Black students and Black Oklahomans. We can talk about this woke society, what it means, but what we know is that all students deserve a comprehensive education, and that includes diversity, equity, and inclusion.
DEI programs were created to push for acceptance of people of diverse backgrounds in areas such as religion, race, age, and genders. The superintendent of Millwood Public School, a predominantly Black school district in Oklahoma City, says diversity does not distract from a student's education.
Providing information isn't teaching an ideology. And so I kind of push back on the thought that DEI is only about brown people or about LGBTQ. Diversity, equity, inclusion is about every type of person. For Oklahoma to be a top 10 state or a business-friendly state, we have to recognize that businesses want people that push innovation. Innovation only comes through diversity.
And while there's still concern about the pushback on DEI, it was still a day for students to learn how the Capitol works and to share history.
Just kids that are very excited to learn about their history. Some of them have never been to the Capitol before. And just to have them here at the Capitol and to show them that they belong just like any other student across the state of Oklahoma, that's worthwhile in itself.
Someone has to take the start to want to continue to fight for freedom and justice and equality. And we have to encourage our kids. We don't want to get stuck on this critical race theory, because when you talk about Black people, it's always been a critical thing. when we were being lynched, it was critical. It might not have been critical to a lot of people because they were not the ones being lynched.
Leaders encourage those students who participated in the first Black History Day at the Capitol to stay aware of the changes being made, which could affect their education and futures.
What we're hoping is that people that are here to enjoy the program are still going up talking to the legislators about why we need to rethink how we talk about diversity and inclusion in our state and really talk about what it's brought and the important impact it's brought to our state.
Lowe says they look forward in continuing this new tradition at the Capitol in the years to come. Taelyr Jackson, the Oklahoma News Report.